Okay, so I'm gonna have to repeat this so many times. Hey, how you doing, Cheryl Milligan?
What's going on with you?
In relation to Spike. But anyway, Cheryl, go and join us on YouTube.
He's out of order.
Join us on Electric Docs TV. Everyone who's coming in here now.
Everyone that's joined on the live, we are just doing this live to inform you that we're actually going to be doing a live QA on our YouTube channel, which is called electricdocs.tv.
Not dot. There's no dot.
TV.
Oh, YouTube, sorry. Electric Docs TV. Forget the dot. Wait
a minute. What's going on there?
Well, that question will be
can't
answered
find it.
On
they say they can't find
YouTube channel.
So it's Electric Docs TV. That's all one word. ELECTRIC.
Well, I can tell you now, you've got an excessive amount of cortisol being released into your gut. That's what your problem is. That's why you.
Oh, you're answering questions now.
Oh, see how you do now.
That's the one. That's one. Everyone got one. You gave them one, Amsu. Dr. Amsu gave you one. I'm giving you one. That's it.
Scroll up.
Nothing else.
That's maybe you can't see it. So ELECTRICDOCS.
A whole bunch of people. There you go. Electric Docs. Thank you, Diamond. You're a diamond.
All right, Docs. Here's what we're gonna do.
Deep is here.
All right, you got Skin Deep going on over there.
Electric Docs TV.
How many people we got in there yet?
Thousands. You're not answering the questions.
No, because they're gonna hear the questions answered, aren't they? So
yeah, but okay, you want
that's gonna defeat the purpose if we're telling everyone. So look.
Did you type it in?
Yeah,
they got the
message.
message.
Everyone's got
right.
it. So I'm gonna come back on my live in a few minutes to let y'all know.
Well, mine's coming up. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the internet in there. Here we go. So you're good. Right, we're gonna be on YouTube. Right, we're on there right now. In fact, so let me come off here and see you over there. I'm not gonna stay on there.
Shut it down.
I'm gonna shut this down.
Right.
This on YouTube, everybody. Electric Docs TV on YouTube.
Right.
Just cut off and then come back on.
No, don't look at that anymore.
YouTube. Go there right now, everybody.
Electric, Dr. Amun or Dr. Amsu, we'll click over. We're going to wait for you guys. But in the meantime, just want to say hi and thanks for joining. Hope you enjoyed the little warm-up preamble there. And we're going to say hi to our Electric Docs on my right, your stage left. Dr. Amun, what's up, Dr. Amun?
Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? Lovely to be here in this cold evening.
Absolutely. But we've got the nice little heater going on there. I think we're feeling okay. Temperature's pretty
they
good.
don't pay us enough to take
right.
work in these conditions, people. I won't say anything else. Lucky we got electric supplements behind us.
There you go. And on my left, your stage right, Dr. Amsu. What's up, Dr. Amsu?
Arsenal.
Goodness.
What's up?
I got to get my Arsenal cup. This is just plain white. I'm going to have to get a sticker on it.
Funny thing is, you got Arsenal who's on top of the league.
It doesn't matter who's on top of the league. It's about who you support,
all what
mate.
matters.
It's about who you support.
And I support Liverpool.
Where the heart is, mate.
And that's where the heart is. And where the heart is at the top of the league.
I suddenly feel bored and tired. Did you get that? It just came over me, mate, So listen, once again, folks, thanks for joining in. You're in tune to the live Q&A session with the Electric Docs. This is where you, our viewers, our listeners, friends and family, get to ask questions about your personal health conditions, general questions about health, and, we may sway into a few other things, but we're really trying to keep this around health. And so we can, it's a platform for people to ask questions. So hopefully you get a bit of help. And, your questions and your answers help other people get answers as well. So it's all very beneficial. And it also keeps us on our toes. This is where we learn about things you guys are interested in that are affecting you guys. And so we can really fashion and focus on what we need to do. So maybe the next time we do a session, we'll focus on your particular ailment. If you do have questions, you can ask questions live into the YouTube chat, of course. Just ask the question away. Try not to keep them too long because we've got to read them out here. We got our man Wujau off camera. You can't see him. He's going to be there doing all the technical pieces, getting your questions out to us. Now, we will try our best to answer all your questions, but as you can imagine, they're going to be coming in thick and fast, hopefully. If we don't get to your questions, don't feel bad. You can drop us an email at helpme@theelectricdocs.com. That's helpme@theelectricdocs.com, and we will endeavor to get to your emails in quick order. Again, if we don't get to your email, you're always welcome to join another session. We will be having regular sessions weekly, and we may take a break because we do travel around doing seminars. But if we come to your town, we'll let you guys know, and maybe you guys can come out and see the Electric Docs live. So, Electric Docs. So, Dr. Amsu, you say everything's good with you. How's your week been?
Perfect. No, it's been all right. It's been all right. You know, a few things going on.
It can't be perfect.
What do you mean it can't be perfect?
Chelsea
if a man's having a perfect week, a man's having a perfect week.
Well, you can't really argue with that.
Understand what I'm saying?
It's how you feel about
perfect.
it, right?
It's been perfect. It's been perfect.
Well, I like to hear that. That's encouraging. Dr. Amun, how's your week been, mate?
Liverpool's on top of the league. So I'm saying it's perfect.
I mean, what can I say? My week has been absolutely phenomenal. No complaints.
No complaints.
No, besides the cold weather. I hate winter. So that's the only thing. If I had to complain, it'd be about the weather. But apart from that, it's been great.
Yeah.
I don't want to tell all these people here that you need to log on to our live QA on our YouTube channel, Electric Docs TV. We're not going to answer any questions on the live Instagram, so subscribe right now to get any of your health questions answered. Boom.
Right. And so, look, before we kick off, we're still waiting for people to sign on to the YouTube. Just want to have a quick conversation about, there's been a number of things happening in the news recently, right? So speaking totally extemporaneously. So the big thing, the illness, the disease, the killer flu.
We're going to talk about the impeachment. That's bigger than the flu.
Well, it's kind of a flu. It's kind of a flu. I can't get it out of my system. I can't turn on the radio and TV and not hear about it. But this thing from China, right? A lot of people worried about that. A lot of people asking questions about it. Now, I don't know how many of us are traveling to China, and if you are, of course, be safe. But, I mean, Doc, what just cancel it. Just,
let me tell you something.
I mean, don't even bother with it.
If I was traveling to China, I'd cancel that whole trip. I ain't taking no chances.
I want to be a bit of a...
Hold on. Wait for it, mate. Right? This is the thing. When you're dealing with these viruses, and this is what is known as a zoonotic virus. Zoonotic virus. It's a virus that's transferred from an animal to humans. From animals to humans. They're called zoonotic viruses, right? This particular virus is a coronavirus. There's only been 2 coronaviruses before in recorded history. So this is only the 3rd one. And it seems to be as bad as SARS. If you remember, a few years ago, we had SARS, right? Came out of China. The reason why is because there are a lot of marketplaces in China where they have these exotic animals that they eat. They're nyamming some different type of animals. And because they're so closely packed up in, these viruses are transferring from animal to animal and then transferred to humans, right? And because of the SARS mistake, the good news is that the Chinese government have actually...
They're prepared for these things,
they're more prepared, and they've actually told the truth and brought in the World Health Organization, people from the CDC, whatever the UK equivalent is. We should know that, but we do not. At the moment, what's it called?
Boots.
W.H.
Smith.
But you know what, though? Before we go into that, I just think, and I'm going to throw a spanner there.
Throw it in the spanner, go on.
It's like, so China is a powerful nation that has made it very clear over the years they do not like the US. They do not like the US. They have been going through trade wars with them around the world. And it's just, I just find it a bit bizarre that every virus that seems to come out and it's sweeping the population, America comes out and says it started in China. And like Dr. Amsu, let me just say something. And like Dr. Amsu just said, I ain't going to China. You know what I mean?
No,
so it's like,
but this is coming from China, though. It's not coming from the US. The US didn't make the report on it. Okay. China made the report on it. It's coming out of Wuhan. 9 million people in Wuhan.
Yeah, it's
9 million people, right, in the province. And the Chinese have actually told people they've done a quarantine where you can't leave.
Right.
If you're in Wuhan, stay in Wuhan. But it's now somebody on the West Coast. Is that correct?
That's 6 people came in. 5 of them have been found to be contaminated.
Why? Listen.
Yeah.
Quarantine that. That has to be quarantined because
absolutely,
because a lot of people are worried because these types of viruses, and I don't know if anybody has seen. There was an episode of Viruses Explained on Netflix, and they were talking about pandemics, right? Pandemics, which is the biggest threat to the world right now.
More than war, of course.
More than war. Yeah. More than nuclear fallout is a pandemic, a virus, or a virus or a bacteria. But viruses that become airborne. Now, as the polar this type of virus, this coronavirus, there's only been 2, right? When we catch a virus, our body needs time to produce antibodies, which an antibody fights against a virus, right? So, because it has recorded it and it produces these antibodies. When there are vaccines that are put out there, the reason for the vaccines is to give your body a little taste of a virus or bacteria, whatever it is, right? Or pathogen, right? Yeah. So that your body now starts to produce antibodies. So when or if that virus becomes a real situation, your body can now deal with it. So, yeah.
No, and just on that point, and sorry to cut you, Dr. I think you had a thought about that. So vaccines have been in the news quite a lot recently. Our brother Riza Islam as well. I know he's been getting into trouble because he's been posting quite a bit of information about viruses. Even with a vaccine, I'm saying viruses. Even with a vaccine, your body has to be in a certain condition, right? So your body gets a taste of the vaccine, it creates the antibodies. Sometime down the line, you actually get, the virus, but your body's still not healthy. You still haven't got the right nutrients and so on and so forth.
Right.
What's going to happen then?
Right. So
go ahead.
This is the dangerous thing about putting vaccines in your body, and your system and your immune system is not even equipped to handle that. So you start getting or leading to things like meningitis or blindness or polio or even being paralyzed. All of these side effects that people are experiencing to death, even some people have died taking these viruses. You see, some people would say that there's no virus or bacteria on the planet, but let's just focus on virus because that's what we're talking about. There's no virus on the planet that there's not a plant or a herb to counteract it, okay? That's what would be our argument. The point is the way how the system or the way how the world is being set up, man is controlling this. Man, like these dangerous pathogens that Dr. Amsa was talking about that we have never been exposed to, or they've only been one in that category of high severity, they are controlling it, and they're also controlling the medicine, they're also controlling the herbs, they're also having control over every form of holistic or alternative medicine, all right? So there is a vicious game getting played here, and it's subtly, but at the same time aggressively dictating what position they're going to put us in to receive vaccinations, certain synthetic or artificial medication. It's all lining us up.
Right.
So our thing, or our personal views on it is, you gotta get electric. You gotta know what you're intaking. You gotta know what food you're putting in. Food is information. One of our great friends said it today. Food is information. It informs your body how to respond to conditions. Right? Am I wobbling on a bit?
All right. So I agree in certain aspects with you. But then I disagree.
Here we go.
Here we go.
You know what I mean? Here we go, people. Keep the cameras running.
Middle on the belt.
This is Arsenal v Liverpool 2002. You know what I mean? When we slapped them. But
you see how far I have to go back for a win. Let's go for 220.
All right, let's try and look inside the park.
Be careful.
Did you hear that?
No, but seriously, we don't want to be scaremongers. We don't want to be telling people it's the government out to get us when they have been groundbreaking vaccinations.
Not all vaccines are bad, right?
Not all vaccines are bad, and there have been plagues that have hit the world,
yes,
and there were vaccines that were produced to fight against them. So with this Chinese, what's it called? It's a coronavirus. What's the name of the virus? What's the name of the virus?
They just said it was corona. Did I pick it up?
Well, coronavirus. Let's call it coronavirus, right?
Right.
And listen,
if there's a vaccine for it,
I'm not trying to catch it, right? To have to make the choice of, let me eat an orange.
Right.
Let me have a couple of oranges or something like that.
No.
And the whole thing is this: they have managed to isolate the virus, and they're they've
working on trying to produce a vaccine or something. Yeah.
When it's down to you, I am not going to advise anybody and say don't get the vaccine because the vaccine may be good. Now there are horror stories about other vaccines that have taken place. There's the whole situation with the MMR and other vaccines where there's the whole situation of autism and other side, like what you were talking about. Now, MMR, and there's actual papers and the actual studies and the clinical trials and all, the experimentation that's taken place and all the recording and, the whole scientific process.
You're never going to get the full information.
You can't make that call and say
Joe Public deciding whether or not they're going
to and then give the public advice based upon what you do not know.
Absolutely.
To be true. My mom always told me, don't talk what you don't know.
There you go.
And
there you go.
It's a dangerous
and then
thing.
She clap in the back of your head, innit?
Yeah,
there you go. So listen, let's do this. So folks, both doctors have said it, you've seen it on the news, you've read about it. There are a lot of people who are anti-vaccine, and we get it, we understand. But as Dr. Ams is saying, you really got to do your research. But with things like this, we really ought not to play with, right? And, if any of you traveling to China or in the region, a lot of people, the flights coming into the west coast of America, be vigilant, be safe. But as Dr. Amin was saying, get your immune system up, and we can talk about that a little bit. So, guys, if you're watching this, if you've been on Dr. Amin or Dr. Amsu's lives, and you've come over to the YouTube channel, you're watching a live Q&A with the Electric Docs, Dr. Amsu, Dr. Amun. I'm your host, I guess, at Mr. Breaks on IG. So make sure you go and at everyone, at Dr. Amsu and at Dr. Amun. You're probably following them already, otherwise you wouldn't be here, right? So listen, what we want to do now is run over and start picking away at some of these questions. Kind of a lot of people have been waiting, sort of patient in the sidelines. We've got a bunch of questions out here. So, Wujia, what do we have in terms of questions?
All right, the first question is from Talks with Toure. What is the best type of water to drink?
I'll delegate Dr. Ammon to answer that. I know you're big on the waters.
We get this question every week.
We really do. It's like,
And I've said to you, there's a couple of brands out there that we recommend. One is Icelandic. Another brand is Evermore. And there's also Mountain Spring water. It's in a green bottle, glass bottle. And these waters can be found from your local stores like Sprouts, Whole Foods, Trader Joe's. And if you're in Atlanta, 7 Under. One thing we always try to stress is find the source of where the water's coming from. You always want to get your source of water from a running spring, fall, or stream. Stilled water that sits in the lake is very toxic because that's when all those bacteria and viruses that we were talking about can now sit on the water. And then they have to go through a different process in order to purify that water. And then that's where the water now can get flora or other artificial chemicals being put in there that you don't want to absorb in the body. So, again, the waters that we recommend are spring, mountain water, Evermore, and Icelandic.
And if you can't get a hold of spring water, and that distilled water is also
right, and that was going to be
also
the
good.
one.
Now, here's what we will say though about what waters not to drink, because those are the waters to drink.
Okay,
I'm going to be the
let's hear it. No, let's hear it because again, we get this question.
So,
go on, Arsenal.
Do not get any form of Kangen, those ionizing waters, right? That takes bulk water, doesn't purify it, but ionizes it and artificially creates alkaline water, right? So here's the thing as well about water as well. When we're dealing with alkaline water, your water only has to be above like 7.2.
That's right.
7.2, 7.3, right? Water's supposed to really be neutral, but slightly above neutral, which is 7, a pH of 7, right? So 7.3, you're good to go. You don't need 9.2 or you don't need anything over 8, really and truly, but there are some good mountain spring waters that are from the Alps and, Iceland, like he said, Icelandic water, where it can get to around 8, 8.2, whatever. But when you have these waters that are 9 point something,
10 point,
you can you can become too alkaline.
Too alkaline, okay.
And it destroys the electrolytes in your body, right? So your body has plasma, you have your blood, right? Electrolytes are what keep you alive. So when your electrolytes are diluted, you can die. So you can become too alkaline.
So go ahead. Finish your thought.
So the whole thing with alkalinity as well, right? Your body needs alkalinity for certain substances. Certain fluids and organs require alkalinity. Certain fluids and organs require acidity. So this whole myth of alkaline, we're here to tell you, all right, we're knocking that out. We're brocking that up. So
let me ask. I got to ask a tough question, Dr. Hammond. Are we saying that all alkaline water is bad? We're not saying that, are we?
No. I don't think Dr. Amsu perfectly explained it when he was saying you don't want synthetic alkalinity in the body, because what everyone has to understand is that when we are receiving these chemicals or nutrients or minerals, they are pathways that they travel. So they get command in a particular pathway to travel, to go to a system or an organ to start repairing or strengthening. When you have synthetic or artificial hormones or chemicals or minerals, they just go sporadic all over the body. So you start getting alkalinity, or you start getting vitamins or estrogen or progesterone, all these things pushed all around the body, which we can go into when we were talking about Kill the Pill campaign.
Sure.
So it's the same principle. When you're getting this synthetic alkalinity in the body, when it starts deteriorating the electrolytes, that's now affecting with your kidneys. Very dangerous. So you want to make sure that the source of water, that where it's coming from, is from a natural resource. And
so you're getting natural minerals.
So you're getting natural minerals.
Excellent, thank you. So the Talks with Torre, thanks for that question. I see we can go on ages for that. If you want to know more about that, of course, drop us an email. Help me at theelectricdocs.com.
Check in the mail, Torre.
There you go. Wujao, what else do we have?
All right. Next question is from Karan Joseph. Excuse me if I'm mispronouncing these names. Karan. All right, Joseph. I'm going to combine two questions. Rebby G has a similar question. What is sea moss? And then the next question is it okay to put sea moss in your smoothie every day?
All right, Chondrus crispus is the botanical name for it. Yep. And that's all I'm adding. I'm good. All right, sea moss is excellent. A lot of minerals, a lot of protein, and some good stuff in there for you. So, yes, if you want to put it into your smoothie every day, knock yourself out because it is good. But here's the but. What's the but with sea moss? Make sure you're getting the right type of sea moss.
Right? And how do we discern that? And these are things a lot of people get upset about. You know, we and other people in the holistic world tell people to get the right stuff, the best stuff. You know, people living in food deserts, right? Sea moss. I think I can only get it in the Caribbean place, and even those ones, I think some of them are processed, right?
Right. So where
am I getting the good sea moss?
So what you find in the West Indian or even certain farmers markets, that you will find the sea moss.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What you find is that the sea moss should not be preserved in salt. Okay. And what you find is that when you buy these sea moss and it's preserved in salt, when you put it in water, it usually swells up. And that is a sign of showing that all the minerals have been depleted because of the process that it's been. All sea moss has to be done is dried out. When it's literally taken out of the sea, it gets dried out with the sun because it's in a Caribbean or a warm climate country, and then it gets stored. Right. That's it. It doesn't need to be preserved and put in salt because the iodine or the sodium from the salt is what now starts depleting the minerals of the sea moss, and that's what you don't want. So one of the sea moss that we recommend is purple sea moss that you can get, and it comes from Jamaica. Right? No, Jamaica has it
in abundance. He said that begrudgingly, didn't
he? No, Jamaica says it. No, Jamaica has it in abundance. Right? And the purple sea moss, and it doesn't have 95 minerals or 97 minerals.
No, it doesn't.
It has around 10 minerals, right? Which is very good for the body. It's got a high level of amino acid and protein, which is good for like if you're training and working out. So where we would recommend to use sea moss in your smoothies instead of these powder protein shakes that you find.
Don't have the spirulina.
Don't have the spirulina.
Another one you hear a lot about.
Right. Don't do the spirulina. As you know, spirulina, it is a B12 blocker. It blocks B12.
It blocks B12. Also, there are mycobacteriums, right? In there, mycobacterium, which get into your system can cause serious
so your microbiomes of your gut flora, right? Disrupts that. So these are serious. So if you want to now replace these particular protein shakes with sea moss, and you could put some hemp seeds, some raw pumpkin seeds in there, a fruit of some kind like a mango or soursop that with some manuka honey, coconut milk. Woo! I think I might have to leave this live right now. Whisk one up. But those are the things you want to do. And if you're working out, like myself and Dr. Amsu and Mikey here, then we definitely recommend it. Get that protein, get that muscle tone, muscle built, and no problem. I mean, you could put sea moss in a number of things: your salad, your tea, shakes, everything. So
the second part of that question, I think, was really about frequency. Can you put it in your smoothie every day? Can you? Is sea moss something you can take all the time? Once a week, twice a week? When we do on it?
I mean, you won't OD, but one of the things I will say
what are we talking about?
No, I'm not smoking. One of the things I will say is that you have to keep this in mind, that your body will get used of consuming something every day if you're keeping doing it. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to have a bad effect, but it could limit the great effect, because then your body just gets consumed. So I would have a week of sea moss, then I might not have it for a couple of days or so, and then I bring it back, shuts the system, because guess what? What you will find is that when you're working out or what you're doing, then your body will say, well, I'm lacking those particular nutrients. You take the sea moss, you get a boost, and that's what you want.
And it also it depends on what's a superfood to one person may be an inhibitor for another person. So when it comes to things like, we said this on the last live that we did, right? If you have anemia, when you consume proteins, it inhibits iron absorption.
Right.
So proteins, calcium, certain polyphenols that are in blueberries, raspberries, blackberries, they actually stop you from getting your iron absorption. So if you're anemic, it's not a good look if you're trying to get iron at that time. So there's a time where you will consume those things, and there's a time when you'll consume your iron-rich foods for your hemoglobin level.
Excellent. So, Kieran Joseph, great question. I hope you've answered that thoroughly. Again, a lot more information on that. Wujai, any more questions? I'm sure we've got tons. I can see them here. But I want you to hit us. All right.
So we have a question from Miss Diamond Dreamer.
Okay.
She asks, what can I use instead of taking iron pills? What can I use for energy?
Dr. Amsu, go ahead.
All right. So
Iron Man, isn't it? Yeah.
So we have a supplement. If you go to electricfood.com, put in this supplement, Anemio, Aneamio, Anemio, right? It's very hard if you are a vegan to get your iron, right? If you're eating electric, there are very few places you can get your iron from. So we have created a supplement called Anemio, Aneamio, Anemio, right? And we also have when you purchase Anemio, you'll get the Anemia Dietary Guide with it. It's going to let you know what are the best iron-rich foods for you to eat on a daily basis. You have to eat it religiously, right? It tells you what foods to leave out while you're trying to get your iron absorption going on, all right? So Anemia, go to Electric Food, that's electricphood.com, and then do a search for Anemio, Aneamio, or electricfood.com/product/Anemio.
Excellent. Jad, do we have any more?
There's plenty more, mate.
All right, there's plenty. Sasha Cummings has a question. My baby has high TSH levels, 1 week old, needs something natural for T4 levels, a natural way for her to get thyroxine.
All right, so are you saying that the baby is hypothyroid? Because if the baby's got high TSH levels, right, it could mean it's probably meaning that it's hypothyroid, right? So if the baby is hypothyroid, that means that there's a high level of immunoglobulins that are blocking the thyroid gland, right? Or, no, not even or, exactly. Because the hypothalamus is producing the thyroid stimulating hormone, right? And if it's high, that means that there's an issue, either there's a problem with the thyroid gland itself, or the thyroid gland is being blocked by white blood cells, leukocytes, which are known as thyroid globulins, and they block the thyroid receptors, thyroid stimulating hormone receptors. So the thyroid gland doesn't know that it's being signaled to release T3 and T4, thyroxine. So the issue is autoimmune. There's an autoimmune issue there.
How old is our child?
It's not a live phone in, mate. Rick's not.
Oh, did she say that in the question?
She said 1 week old.
1 year
1
old.
week old.
1 week. 1 week.
Oh, 1 week. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So she's nursing. So she should be taking the supplements and nursing through her breast milk to deal with that with the child, because a child at 1 week, the immune system is not even fully developed.
Yeah.
Very fragile.
So there are certain things that you can take.
She needs to take.
Ashwagandha, bladderwrack.
Well, essence.
Well, we have a supplement which we prepared for you, one we prepared earlier, right, which you can take, which is called Essence. Yeah. If you go to electricfood.com /product/essence, this is very good for hypothyroid, right? Hypothyroidism.
That's exactly what you need to do, because...
And then you take it, and then you nurse the baby.
And you nurse it, and it comes through your breast milk, okay?
Now, are they allowing you to nurse the baby? Because they're quick to try putting these young ladies onto, these babies onto formula. Don't give the baby formula. Do not give the baby formula. Read my lips. Do not give the baby formula.
Next question.
All right. So we are going through the questions here. All right. So, let's see. Cheryl Milligan, have a 8-centimeter fibroid. Doctor keeps pushing hysterectomy and or a UFE surgery. Help. Really against surgery, but blood count was a 3 as of January this year.
When you say blood count, is that iron levels? Your iron levels at 3?
That's all she said, and she said almost died. Emergency.
Right, so that's iron. That's iron levels. You might want to just kill that.
So, again, what's her name? Cheryl. So Cheryl, we have a kit, a program, protocol called Her Elimination, and that's a combination of supplementation and meal plans and exercises. It's a whole life change, okay, which deals with all female reproduction disorders, uterine fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS, etc. Now, in your particular situation, you will be dealing with uterine fibroids. We recommend you go to the website, electricfood.com/her elimination. That's all one word.
She wants
her
to
elimination.
Plus,
yeah, you want
anemia.
With anemia. So Dr. Amsu was just breaking down about anemia, okay, and you want that with her elimination kit. And there's a lot of information and contents there that you could read up on about the supplements, the program, and what is required for you to do to eliminate your fibroid naturally. You don't have to have surgery.
Do not do the hysterectomy.
Do not do that.
Slap him next time you talk. All right.
So listen,
box him.
Yes, absolutely. And we're gonna have to take a break. Actually, we're having some technical difficulties with the feed. We're gonna log off and log back on in 2 minutes. Maybe not even 2 minutes. So stay where you are. The channel's gonna go down. We're gonna get back on. Thank you. But listen, guys, do not log off. You're in tuned. The Electric Docs TV. This is a live Q&A session. We've got a lot more to get through. It's going to be a great session, but we'll be right back in